Computer. All right, we're starting our July jug for business owners developing websites in Joomla and the small business jug. Virtual jug, we have a summer session right now, July. So instead of a speaker, we're doing member spotlights. And we're all going to take a turn and introduce ourselves. And then go around the room, and anyone who's willing can share their screen and maybe give us a demonstration of something cool they've been working on inside the Joomla platform. So as we get started, just say your name, where you're from, and the funnest things you've been doing this summer to take some time off from building websites. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with Joe and then go to Richard.
So yeah, I'm Joe. I'm in Canada. I'm on the opposite side of Canada that Tim is at. So we're the bookends, one on the left, one on the right. And so yeah, been in Joomla since 2005, enjoying it. And I do have something to show a little bit later, so we'll do that when we get finished here.
Awesome. Okay, Richard and then Tim.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard. I'm a web developer based in Bournemouth, in Dorset, which is on the south coast of England. And is this just an intro
Yep,
or
just a hello, and then we'll go back.
hello?
What you've
There
been
we go.
telling us
That's it.
you've been doing music this summer, right? Is that your favorite thing?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gigging every weekend up until September.
Nice. And what music, which instrument do you play or do you sing?
I'm a drummer, and my band we're called the Breakfast Club. We're an 80s synth pop trio.
Ooh,
Mm.
that was a great movie. Tim and then Anne.
Hey, Tim Davis here on Vancouver Island, left coast of Canada. I like long walks on the beach and curling up with a good book by the fireplace. I think everybody here knows me, so.
And then Bjorn.
I'm Ann Noter Thomas. I'm in Syracuse, New York. And since there seems to be a music theme, I have something interesting. My there's a lot of music in my family, and my niece was up here with her husband, who is actually making a living from the his Spotify listens. He's more than paying his mortgage. Um, he's actually yesterday he posted he had 20 million listens of one of his songs. And I
Wow.
also have other musicians in the family that have been just bad mouthing Spotify ever since it came on the scene, that it was bad for musicians. So that's my little music tidbit.
You need to share his link. We got to check him out. He's this.
Okay, his name is Sam Birchfield.
Oh,
He's out of Georgia,
all right.
but I don't even know where it is.
Oh, okay. Bjorn says, sorry, no Cam yet. He is 48 years old from Western Norway. He has a few Joomla sites, Joomla Forever and Breedsea. Have been looking into using NAN to automate Joomla articles. NAN. I wonder if that's something that Owen covered. Well, you were probably here last month. He did some really cool stuff. I'm not sure exactly if it's the same platform. Thanks for coming. Yorgos, I'll just say he has no microphone, but also loves to watch. And if you do want to know my last work, it was yoyo.cy and is a J2 Commerce website. So I might bring that up. Mary, do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Concise.
Joomla user since it was launched. I'm in Washington State on the west coast of the US.
Just below Tim. Welcome.
Exactly. And I have done nothing fun this summer.
Oh, no, hurry up.
I know. It's almost over.
No, it's not. Plenty of time. Okay, I didn't forget anyone. We have a small group. My name is Robin Clapp. I'm from Connecticut, in New England on the East Coast, and been doing Joomla since Joomla 1, and nothing else, just Joomla. I haven't worked in any other platform, so I'm fully invested. Um, for me, I live on a lake, so summertime is my absolute favorite. And this year, I've been trying to swim half a mile every day. And yeah, just I do a triangle around the lake, back to my dock. And my that's for exercise, but for fun, for enjoyment, I love live music. So I see a lot of concerts, not too many well-known people, but up and coming people in smaller venues. And I love indie folk. And one of my favorite artists I got to see a couple weeks ago is from Vancouver Island, O.C. Elliott. And I saw them at a music festival in Massachusetts. And the headliner there was Mount Joy. On Monday night, I'm seeing Iron and Wine. Um, in August, I'm seeing the Wood Brothers. In September, I'm seeing Tyler Childers. And prior to that, I saw my favorite band of all time, Camp. And I saw them in Boston and in New Haven, Connecticut. So I saw them 3 nights apart because I wanted to go to both concerts. So that's where I spend all of my spare money, just going to concerts and live music. I absolutely love dancing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do some spotlights. We've got plenty of time, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Joe and just put in the chat if you want to also do one. And we'll definitely fill the time. I'm not worried. Oh, we found Sam, so we're going to go check him out. That's Anne's talented relative. All right, go ahead, Joe. I'm going to go into host tools and allow you to share anyone to share the screen.
All right, so before I do my little spotlight thing here, since we're on a music theme, I was just looking at Richard's URL, The Breakfast Club. I really like that name. That's an excellent. So is that the name of the band, The Breakfast Club?
It is, yes.
Ah, that's it.
It's peak
That's a
peak 80s.
Yeah,
very, very
really.
nice name.
Molly
Love the
Ringwald.
name.
Yeah.
Be very easy to remember that. And I have one last music story from my life. I was quite young at the time. My mom used to take me to a little town called Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Every other year, we would go and visit my cousins, and I would be bored out of my brains because I was from Toronto and this little was a little sleepy town. So my cousins who are a little bit older than me said, "Hey, Friday night we're all going to go to a dance, but it's like a 2 hour drive." And so we went out to this. It was a farm, and it literally did take 2 hours to get out there. And there was a whole whack of people out there, just all walking around looking lost and it seemed like something was wrong and so they started going, well, what's happening here? And they said, the band didn't show up. You gotta be kidding. Well, why? What's going on? Well, it seems like they started getting radio play on one of their songs, and they just decided that that was the end of them playing farms and small private parties. We go, oh, well, who was that band? It was Creedence Clearwater Revival.
So
So
you
I
missed that?
missed out seeing Creedence Clearwater Revival before they got famous. Their big song, Bad Moon Rising, just went #1 on the radio. And that was the beginning of, so I missed them by a hair's breadth seeing them that night. Anyways, enough of that. So I'm going to share my screen with you here and show you share show you what's going on. So I have and this is on my local computer because I have more testimonials on it, but the website is live. It's babeducation.com is the name of the site. And what I'm going to show off here today is this testimonial slider that I created. And this one over here, this is just to give you an idea of the mobile view of it as well. So this was made using a articles category module, and I wrapped and it's a layout override for the articles category module, and I wrapped the HTML in JavaScript called Swiper. And what you can see is that you can hover over these testimonials. These little one-liner are from a custom field. So it's picking up standard Joomla articles in a category, and the category is called testimonials. And I have the custom field that shows here with the link. And when you click the link, it pops up a Bootstrap modal with a small portion of the full testimonial. So I've got a character restriction happening inside here. So in the pop-up modal, there's a little bit of code that restricts the amount of characters. And then if you hit the read more, it'll take you to the actual article itself. So the article is also a standard Joomla article, but with a layout override. So this is my own layout. I just wanted something really nice and clean. So you can see that the article title is here, and then the full article, and then there's also at the bottom of each article you can um, scroll, through the testimonial items back and forth. And then there's also the menu item going to the category page. So this is the menu item type category of the testimonial article. And this too is also a layout override. So that's my own layout design. And so if you go here, I guess on the mobile view, to testimonials, you'll see that, it does display kind of nice. And that's my little showpiece. Honestly, it was an exercise in learning how to deal with layout overrides like everywhere. And I had a ball doing it. Some of it was challenging. I had a little bit of help on the part that was the most challenging for me was to get the custom field to be used here. Originally, I was and it was easier just using the article title, but I thought, oh no, it'd be nice to control, what you're going to have written inside each one of these little things here. And I just it was really it took a little bit of help from Olivier actually, who helped me to get the code just right to grab the custom field to display in this swiper, article category module. So that's my little show off piece for you today.
Wonderful. Well, I can definitely go next if you want. Before I do, if Laura jumped on, if you want to say hello, where you're from, and what you're doing for fun this summer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Gordon. Uh, what am I asking again? Oh, what am I doing fun this summer? Riding roller coasters with my husband's roller coaster camp. We did Canada. He's right now in North Carolina doing all that, and I'll be joining him at Hershey Park later on, and going to the beach for a week. So that's really fun. And I just want to make a quick note. We are having a day of coding. And we are going to walk through exactly what Joe was talking about. It's a module override for articles and to use custom fields. And it's going to be a very specific, small, doable session that every single one of you will be able to come out of it with something because we're doing a full day. So I have Viviana and Daniel are going to do the first half, which they're going to create the module override to make it look real sexy and to use custom fields, but to use the custom field, the name of the field instead of the ID number. So that way this could be somewhat portable. And then create a new class style so that you could see the module override that apply a class to it, and then more funky things are going to get added to it. Then in the afternoon, Sharat's going to come in and take this module that we create, make a copy of it, and use GSAP to make it really sexy with all these different animations. So it's like a 7 hour thing that you could probably see at a Joomla day in like 45 minutes, but we're not doing it that way. So it's free, register and come. So it's on our Joomla user group website.
August 13th.
It's August 13th. And if anyone is coming in person, I have room in my house. I have a couple of extra bedrooms. I know Olivier is definitely coming by. So if anyone's coming, you want to come the night before, I can pick you up at the train station or you can park at my house. And then I can get you it's about 7 miles from my house. So not you wouldn't walk, but yeah, we would drive over to Rutgers and lunch. You just walk across the street for lunch. There's a little food court thing, outdoor thing, and then we finish up the day. So if you need rooming and you want to stay at my house, just send me an email to make sure I have enough space. But I do have an extra 3 bedrooms plus couches and blow-up beds, so I could definitely fit 10 to 15 people without blinking an eye. So anyway.
There will be a virtual option.
Yes, there is. It's hybrid. It's 100% hybrid. Yeah. So yeah, and Olivier, so we have Daniel and Viviana, we have Sharat, and then Olivier and I are kind of hosting. So one of us will be monitoring the chat. Olivier will be helping us with the in-person folks, and he's also going to be creating different zip files. So if any point during the session you got completely lost and you're like, okay, I just want a copy of the code, we will give it to you every step of the way. So this isn't like just a full day of, I know the Sunday, the coding session where everyone's just kind of on their own. This is going to be a very structured approach with a very specific output in mind. And yeah, I know people may have questions during it. I'm going to keep it really targeted, focused, because my goal is I want everyone to come out of here with something similar to what Joe did and feel like, oh my God, I can do this myself. So I'm really excited about it. And it's called A Day of Coding. And I actually brought it up to leadership, I think. So I started the Joomla camps like a while ago. So Joomla camp is like an unconference kind of thing. Joomla day is like, a specific thing. Of course, USA, it's 3 days, but whatever. And I think this concept of a day of coding is something that maybe could be used by other Joomla user groups where they can do a day of coding about something else, right? But it's very specific. And man, it was so easy to get these amazing volunteers. I feel like I have like the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, when we're having these meetings, I'm like, this is so exciting. So anyway, yeah, and I'm really excited about that. So I hope you can all come. It would be great to see you in person and or not. So there you go.
You don't live that far away. I'll take a ride.
I'm all registered for that. Looking forward to it.
Okay. I'm not.
Awesome. Great.
I'll get on that. Yeah. And Laura and I are gonna head over to the Netherlands in October for their Joomla Day event. So that's super exciting. I was looking up, there was a concert coming close to my house and I went to go buy tickets and I'm like, oops, sorry, I'm in Amsterdam. I can't do that. And I was like,
when is that in October?
October 3rd it's 2 days. It's that Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
I know I'm coming in late Friday because it's the holiday the day before, so I can't fly. But I know Robin's coming in and I'm presenting and Robin's presenting in the Netherlands. So
Well,
yeah.
that's quite a short hop for me, so I might.
You should go. Yes,
Yeah.
let's fill that room, There's going to be stuff in English, stuff not in English. Not everything's going to be in English, but go to Joomla Day Netherlands. I think we should all be supporting all of the different Joomla Day events because I think that's where it's at. I know the conferences are really fun and all that, but it's hard to financially run that type of thing where the Joomla days can be small. And let's definitely support them because they're doing it at a hotel, which means their costs are much higher, so they need the people. And I don't want it to get canceled. Not that it will, but yeah. So definitely register.
Beautiful. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let me see. Yeah, that one. All right. I'm gonna do a little demonstration of a really cool job that I worked on recently. And this is really exciting for me. I know if you watched my presentation at JDA USA this year, I taught, it was more of a soft topic about how to gain business and take care of clients and grow through networking and sales. And so I moved to Connecticut just 4 short years ago, and I had a lot of momentum in Massachusetts, having owned my business there for 15 years, and I do a lot of networking there. And so I've got a lot of clients from my last home, but I'm in a new home now and I know nobody. And I started networking here, and this was one of the first really big jobs that I got here through my networking. So you need a couple people to take a chance on you, and word of mouth referrals are a big portion of my business. So this one is a 4 magazine, 4 different websites for 4 different magazines that have been printed in the local area for over the Valley Book 25 years. The Valley Book is a region in Connecticut called the Farmington Valley. The other website is the Shoreline Book, which is on the other side of Long Island in Connecticut. Glastonbury Book and the West Hartford Book are just really large, vibrant towns in Connecticut. And so those were the 4 magazines. We started with the Valley Book. And one of the biggest hurdles with this website job was they have over 250 advertisers in a CSV file. And with the help, Adam and I worked together using, let's see, ROCSVI to import from that database and create all of the articles, filling in a lot of custom fields, putting them in categories, multiple categories in some cases, with a push of a button. And then what I realized is once we did that, so they've been keeping this CS file for years and years and years. Once I realized once it's in the website, instead of maintaining that CSV file, they actually are now maintaining the advertising businesses on the website instead. And so they print the magazine once a year. And when they go to print a couple of weeks before print, now they just need to run an export file. And this export file creates a CSV file based on the data that's in the website, but creates it in a way that she can then just import it into InDesign. Isn't that crazy? Wow. And so Adam showed me how to do a few things at the very beginning, and then I just fell in love with this tool and have been able to just take it from there, which is really cool. So what you will see on the front end, these are featured articles up here that are rotating. This is the actual book in a flip chart, the magazine. So I'll open that in a minute. Down here is all of the different departments. So here's the departments in which the businesses land in both the magazine and on the website. And so you can see if you go into something, and they can be in multiple categories, professional services, you can open that up. And then what you have here, I did in latest news enhanced, is all of your businesses that are advertised. And you'll see some of them are on the top, the rest are, some are in gold on the top, and these are like featured or sorted out as more important because they paid more. So and the rest are in alphabetical. But also you have these kind of tags that you can sort through and say, here are the website services. And here's the estate planning ones. And so you can do that and see, you can sort them that way. Over here, you can see all of the departments. So you could then jump over to dining. And sometimes the banner on the top is also an advertiser. So there's so much advertising on this site, but it is really geared towards the people who live in these communities because the magazine goes to everybody's home for free. And if you live outside the area, you can just sign up on the website and have one sent to you for free if you live outside the area, and they will send it to you. So I used all of the Joomla ads to create these opportunities. This one's a rotating one. This is 5 across. Here's another module location for an ad, another module, and he sells all of these based on what they're paying for in the magazine. And then he's even, since the website's gone live, been selling a ton of them based on websites. So you can see there's quite a few here, and they can just keep growing. And then there's some rotating ones at the bottom. Okay, so also one of the things that the magazine graphic designer wanted was a way to do proofs. And so what I did is I gave her this login. So I am logged in as me. But if you go to this page, I thought this was the page. See, proof reporting, which no one knows about. It's not even, it's in a hidden menu, and I don't even show it when she's logged in, but she can go here and she can pick. In this case, it's called account groups, because even though you don't see that on the front end, but certain account groups pay for, you wouldn't know, but several different ads. And so she can then bring it up by account group, see all the ones that they paid for, take a snapshot, send that to the advertiser, and they can proof it. So that was one of the ways I just used Latest News Enhanced to do that. So she can go through and say, you know, this is what the BH at Farmington pays for that one, and CT Max pays for these. And so you can see some of them pay more because they have bigger descriptions and what have you. And it will tell you this one is in dental implants, but this one, you know, could be the same business, but it's in a second category as well. So there's a lot of custom fields and a lot of identifications on where things will go. So to take a, oh, and then the other thing, so if you wanted to advertise, these were all beautiful pages, beautiful pages that I created. This is where you would fill it out. But if you wanted to see information about the circulation, tech, what things would cost, you can see that here's the different layouts, and I made all these beautiful pages for advertisers, which was on its own website. I implemented it on each of the 4 websites as part of it, because why wouldn't you want to see this beautiful website and say, how do I advertise here? So that's when we added all of these pages into each and every one of these websites. And there's something called featured articles, which is beautiful. These are advertised. If they want to have a featured article in the magazine, they have a writer who writes it. They have a photographer who's given credit for the photos. And then they have this beautiful spread on the website with this, as you can see, the drop photo albums is right here, where they can just add these beautiful articles in. There's another, this is custom fields down the bottom. And I will show you a back end of what she's doing to maintain, but actually I'm doing the featured articles every time the magazine goes live. She's just maintaining the advertisers. So it's ongoing business for me. But if I go in and I look for, that's the directory listings, that's all the advertisers. Featured article. And so you go in here, and here's the actual article, but then they have these article elements. So the author and credits to the photo person, the slideshows with lots of the ability to do alt tags and captions. And then there's your bottom section that you can add what you'd like there. Close that. Let's look at a directory listing, so you can see what she's keeping track of. You can see some of them are featured, so those are paying more. But yeah, you can go in and you can see New England Ballet. This is just alt text that, or an article, or it's like their description from in here. Adam said to go ahead and put it in the article text, because when it's indexed by Google, it will show up there. So it doesn't actually show up on the website anywhere forward facing, but apparently that does get picked up. and he said it's good for SEO. So we threw that in there as well when we were importing in. But yeah, so here's your account group, and it is a drop-down list. So these were all of the ones that came over from the original CSV. It says it's in the Valley book, which year of the book. It's a category leader. It's highlighted, it's bold. It could be featured if we wanted. And then they just fill in all of these things. But honestly, when we did the import, we filled all these things in originally, and now it's just maintaining it. And here you can see apartments. Departments, I could add it to automotive. And when I click automotive, I did all this with custom fields. These two things show up, or I could say wedding and celebrations, and these show up. And this business category gets populated when I do the export to the InDesign. I leave it blank here. It means nothing here, but when I go to export it, I have a formula that fills it in. And if you go into CSV, CSVI, and you kind of look, you can see that I did some manipulation. I created, so in the fields, if you go into edit, some of there's the business category that wasn't populated, didn't have anything, but I create it and I remove some dashes and I reformat it and do some fun things. So that is all done in the rules. So create business category. I don't know. I just learned how to do this. I did a combine feature that combined all these, and most of them are empty. But there's one or two that it might be in, and then so it takes that value and then it does two or three other things to it. So when it finally goes out to InDesign, it's the way they want it. And a lot of times I had to remove spaces or other things so that InDesign was happy. And so it was really cool to use this tool to do all of that. And I don't know if I've gone over the 5 minutes, but you can go in here and see that there's also the West Hartford book. And so, yeah, I'll show you when you click through here and you can see the flip chart. So this is what the magazine would look like. That's just, why are you being weird? Oh, continue, couldn't see it. The ones that I'm just making this weird. This way just go to where, so there's a lot going on, but what the export actually creates, some of these pages. It creates that category, it creates the business name, there's the description, there's the address and the URL, the phone number. So when she exports out, all of these things are populated in a layout fashion and gets her like 50% of the way done, which is really cool. Again, there's some more of them, and she is able to export now from the website and fill in all advertisers, and then she does all the other stuff from there. So kind of a cool project where I was able to take on some pretty difficult requirements and do it all in Joomla. So that was really exciting. I don't know if anyone's got any questions, but that was a fun project and a little
I
bit
just
from
put in a ton of questions, Robin.
Oh, did you? You can come out and ask. Sure.
I did. So number one, fantastic. Mazel tov, awesome. So what form tool did you use? Was it Convert Forms or you used
I always use Convert Forms. I love
Convert Forms? Okay.
But that's the Convert Forms are only for like if they wanted to advertise it, just sends them.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And then in the top banner, there was the rotating image that, used to be a banner module, whatever. What are you using for that top piece? Is that pulling from an article or is that a separate thing? Is that pulling from a field in an article that's flagged to be shown up there, or is that something else?
Okay. Let me just go right back into here.
The little rotating, the little guy.
Yeah, the advertising one.
Yeah, the little rotate. Yeah. So is that pulling from an article, a field in an article that's tagged to be displayed in that position, or is it separate?
It is being pulled from. where where in the menus is the advertising? The content.
So it would be, I guess I'm asking what kind of module it is. So I don't know if that's the menu or just if you go into modules.
Where I don't use the advertising very often. Where is the Joomla?
Would it be site modules under content and site modules?
Yes, but where is it? Components? Banners. They're called banners, aren't they?
Are you actually using banners for this?
Yeah. But the rotating
You're
one
not sure.
is just what's a, so I am using banners in this. And so
Fine.
I'm
Okay.
using it like built in, but the one that rotates was like one little plugin that I purchased to do the rotation. But all of the rest is literally, look at, this is just advertisers. So you just go in and you say, you know, this is the width.
It's the old school, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you can go in, and I don't know how accurate all of these are, but I set it up as unlimited, and then I choose the category that I set up that it can be part of. So they paid for a display graphic ad. I tried to use as much of core as I possibly could. And so then once you set all of this up, then you go in and you do a module and put it in the placement.
It's pulling from the banners.
Pulling from
Yeah.
Isn't
You know,
that-
it's interesting because I would love that to have been, you know, controversy, right? A custom field on, because technically that advertiser already has an entry listing. So like that's why in my brain, oh, is there another field if they paid for it? But then you wouldn't get the whole clickability piece
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
from the
Yeah, and I
banners.
don't know how
So yeah,
the clicking is probably not as accurate as if you had Google Analytics installed on your site,
of
because
course.
you could be clicking on it all the time. Like with that, you can kind of separate those out and stuff. So, but in the meantime, I was like, that's pretty good. Just set that one up, and then also have my SEO specialist doing the Google Analytics to give the advertisers even more accurate data. But this is the first site I've had where there's been a lot of advertisement.
And then the photo gallery in the article, is that ACF or are you using the photo gallery core?
I am using
That field.
advanced custom fields, I believe.
It is ACF. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
And then I noticed a lot of the aliases have the -2. Is that because you did the save as copy? I have a big issue on Joomla, which I've mentioned, is if you do a save as copy on the front end, there's no way for your user to fix the alias. It'll automatically have the same alias and then do a -2.
For where did you see the dash?
In the back end.
But like, was it showing up for?
Nope. Well, it'll show up in the URL, possibly.
Oh,
So if you go,
these are all clean, I believe. But you're
yeah,
saying,
if you go to the back end,
yep.
so and just go to articles, you could see it right away, like the -2, a youthful images -2. See that? The alias. So I have such an issue here, and you may not even realize you have an issue, but it's a big issue because I tell my clients do it. Now, for you, it's not that bad because at least the name of it is still the same, Valvoline, whatever. But I'll tell my clients, oh, you want to create a new author, let's say, right? Not a user on the site, but like it's a book site. So they create a new book. Well, they make a copy of a different book on the front end. And let's say the first book was called, you know, Goodnight Moon, and you make a copy of it on the front end, it automatically puts the alias of Goodnight Moon. And then they change the title of the book into, you know, Little House on the Prairie or whatever, but it's still going to have the alias of Goodnight Moon. Tube, whatever. And
Yeah.
I have an issue with that. So I didn't know if it was now, if you're having everyone do the work on the back end, it's easy. And everyone's like, well, just do it on the back end. Well, the whole beauty of Joomla is being able to make these edits on the front end, you know, so there's no way for my client to then edit it. So I wasn't sure where you got the twos from, but at some point there was an other article that existed because you can't have an alias. So maybe it's in trash.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and these are all individual articles for each advertiser, but they don't have an individual page that you can get to from the front end. So you can just go to farm to table and you can see that they're all here, but you can't click through and see just this one page. But Adam says they do exist and they do get indexed.
They are indexed and
Those,
people could
but
get to it accidentally
by
if they do a
searching on
Google
Google.
search.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if they
that's
do
why
a
he
Google
said,
search for Don's Cheese Shop, it may
yeah,
come up on your. So if you click on Don's Cheese Shop, it's taking you to Don's website. It's not taking you to the
yeah,
article, right?
yeah.
Um,
So the
so
actual individual articles are not
yeah,
part of this design, but
understood.
yeah.
Yeah.
But why don't you do the URL? Like, go ahead and use the alias and throw it in the
Oh, so we can
browser
see
and
it?
go to the
You'll see
article.
it'll come up. So if you do Don's, yeah, or jokes, whatever.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
But she needs to know what category it will open up in, Joe. I don't know if it'll you need to get the full preview, um, which is
Okay, so another way of doing this,
index.
if it's
maybe,
index.
maybe, no.
No. It's index. Um, hold on. I
I mean, I
have
could
it
look at the
because
site map.
hold on.
I have site map.
Non-markers. Hold on. I have it.
Yeah, we have this too. Close. You can just look at it here and see some of these.
I'll give you the full URL.
Oh yeah, so it's not even in. It's, I don't know.
So the lazy way to do it, if you want, if it's already indexed, is in the URL. You just write site colon the domain name space and the article that you're looking for, and Google will give you the URL.
Gotcha. So,
So just type in go site colon.
oh, I have to do site before
Yeah,
that.
right in front of there, SI colon. No, don't put the space there. Take that space out. Put the space after the domain and then
Here's
the
the
search
URL.
term.
But that's
Yep,
only going to
yeah.
work if you have the ID number. So I just gave you, that's the URL. I'm sorry. It's index PHP, content view, article, layout,
That's
preview.
what it's gonna look like. It's not pretty. Of course, I'm logged in. So if I
But
log,
you could just put that in if you want to see what happens when the article comes up. But that's the hard code of the article. I only know because I'm doing something at Rutgers with email addresses. But anyway,
sorry,
Ooh, I want to go next.
yes, okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to show you something way simpler than everything you guys just did. But that's okay. Keep going.
I don't know about. Well, I
Thank
hope
you,
everyone
Mary.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was a
So
really
good.
fun
Thank
project,
you.
and the good part about it is there's 4 magazines, and they all come out annually with a new print. And now I'm kind of like their resident web designer, and so I put in all the featured articles and help out the magazine graphic designer do website stuff when she's overwhelmed with print. And so I get to track my hours and, just I get to invoice them at the end of the month. And it's a big chunk of change. And it's continual ongoing work. And
That's
so I'm so
great.
excited.
Nice.
Bjorn, I just want to bring something up. No, even if you can't change the title before saving it, because what happens is on the copy at that moment, it gets saved. And I created in GitHub or Trouble Tickets or whatever, I created something for someone to look at this for Joomla 6, and I think they just ignored it because nobody cares. But they do not understand how important this is. Because
Are
what's
you talking
happening is
about when you save as copy?
yeah, when you save as copy at that moment, the article is getting saved at that moment. So when you change the title, you're actually changing it on an article that already exists.
Yes, but the alias, and I was wrong about this, and Bjorn corrected me, and so I made a video on my channel. So thanks for not watching that.
But the
If you
alias doesn't get changed though when you change the title because it can't.
save as, if you change the title, save as copy makes a new alias now.
This is a shared page. I guess this is what somebody put in the chat. So this will get indexed. It's not something you can find through the menus, but this is where I think Adam was. What a weird listing.
Because I told everybody to when you save as copy, delete the alias so you get a new alias.
You can't
Right.
see the
Can't do
alias
that.
on the front end.
But
You
you
don't
can,
see it.
but you can delete it so that it doesn't take on what the copied name is.
Not on the front end.
No, not
Oh,
on the
not on
front
the
end.
front end?
Not on
Oh,
the
okay.
front. I
No,
don't do
you can,
anything on the
that's the
front end.
problem. No, on the back end,
Oh,
yes.
so you're getting the
Oh,
copied
okay.
name and then, which isn't anything related to it, but in the
So
back end,
Joomla 4.1 added save as copy, and I was so freaking excited that I added it to all my Rutgers classes and said, guess what? We have this. It does not work. It is not
Make a good index.
capable because of that. And I understand why they don't want people to see the alias on the front end. When you create an article from new, at that point, you do see the alias when it's brand new. When you do save as copy, you don't see the alias, and that gets saved at that moment. So on the front end, I think it's a big problem because why have that functionality when in reality you're doing a save as copy and you end up to me with articles that are invalid?
Or you're not putting SEO top of front of
Well,
mind
it's just
when you're
wrong.
creating
Like it's
it.
wrong data because if you save, Good Night Moon and then you change it to Little House on the Prairie, the alias says Good Night
Good night,
Moon.
moon
Like to
dash
me,
two.
that's wrong data. It's not even just SEO. It's it's wrong.
Okay, so I was
It
wrong
is.
once again.
But if you go after the fact, like, so you've done that, right? And
Go to the
at
back end.
that moment in time, it saves it. It's not indexed at that moment in time because it takes time. So you could go, but you'd have to go
But
into the
then you have to
back
go to
end
the
to do
back
it.
end, and that's the whole
Yeah,
point of making
that's
Joomla
the whole
You
point.
need
easier.
a
Okay,
button that
gotcha.
says save as copy in new index.
Don't
But
give
what?
me save as copy on the front end if it's not going to do what
Yeah,
it needs to do. I
Right,
but
think
they
right,
that's
right,
my
right.
point.
but if they're doing a whole new book and they're like in my mind, people that are have access to edit only on the front end, they're just adding content. So
Which
if they're gonna do a whole new book, they could just add a new article.
no, they don't want to because what they like is when they do save as copy, they can see how the other book fields were filled out. And I have a lot of older women that are doing this. And they like the save as copy concept because they're like, oh, well, at least I can see what fields are there and then I can overwrite those fields and make sure I don't miss anything, that type of thing. It's a very valid
Yeah,
request. And
yeah.
I've had to tell my friend Willette, she creates 10 books every 6 months or 6 books because they do one book a month. She is working her tail off. So what she does is after she creates them, she's promised me she'll go to the back end and then change the aliases because she knows how to do that. Um, but
But
yeah,
you're perfectly right that it should be addressed. And the reason it doesn't get addressed is because the powers that be that approve what gets done and what doesn't get done, it's not relevant to them. But the case study is perfectly relevant, and you really should make the noise. Now that you've described it, especially in relation to, say, a book or product, any product, it's going to be a really big deal.
I will make it at the actually the issue, Joe, is I think when people are deciding what goes in a release, they want something that someone has already done the code for. So what folks have said to me, well, Laura, get someone to write the code.
Oh, I had no idea.
Right? Like, oh, if I can do it myself, then fine. But that's the whole problem. I shouldn't have to do that myself to me. And I don't even know the right answer. This is bigger than just fixing something. This has to do with it's called actual business design and business, evolution to figure out, okay, what should it do? So I'm not, you know, the problem, Bjorn, it can't necessarily be the same as the back end because I understand why they don't want to give people access to the alias on the front end. So but they do when you create a new article. When you create a new article, you can see the alias at that point. So the question is, which is a lot bigger than something I would want to decide, right? Like it should be a group of smart people that, know pros and cons, right? To say this is how it should
Absolutely. And you
happen.
know what? I'm almost tempted to write an article about that, the whole topic, because it is important. So technically, by allowing that to be done on the front end, that was wrong. That's incorrect. It should never have been done for the reasons you talk about. That's
That's
a
correct.
real short-sighted thing that has big implications. And the people that say wrote the code for that don't understand that piece,
Well,
but
they
they
didn't think
should
about it.
make,
They didn't think of it,
yeah,
which is okay. But now, okay, so we're evolving it. So I'm gonna
now it needs to
find
be
the ticket.
fixed.
I'll
Yeah,
find the ticket because I created a couple of tickets. I know I put it in the code along group because I'm like, is there anyone here that's able to work on these things. So I'm going to throw the ticket that I created because I don't even remember what it was. Is it in GitHub? I don't even know. Like,
Yeah, that got moved around a few times over the years.
oh no, I didn't even, it's not even in this list. So these were some of my dream things right here. Maybe I didn't create it because they were arguing about it back and forth. This is versioning of custom fields, batch category for custom fields, creating a class at the group level, and change batch authors for categories so you don't get orphan records when an author leaves.
But you know what? We
I'm
kind of
sorry, I just
hijacked the
hijacked.
meeting.
Go, go, go.
Yeah.
Tim
So
wanted to do a
let's
presentation.
continue on. But you know
Yeah.
what? Hit me up on the site and I'll jump on the bandwagon with you. And now that
Love
you've
it.
explained
Love
that.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. I gotta find where because I did talk to people about it. So, okay, go ahead.
If you're people who are doing the save and copy, they're logged into the front end. So if you made a link that was only visible to them that they could click on, that opened in a new tab with an example article that they could look back and forth and fill in, they could just save too. That
Yeah.
might be a temporary workaround, but
They'll go to the back. Yeah, yeah.
all
They're
right.
not gonna want to do that.
Joomla needs to fix its stuff. That's all.
Yeah. And they don't know what to fix until you have case studies, which is what
Yeah.
users who are building for clients do, right? That's what this group is all about. We find all the practical things that need to be done.
Yeah.
So who's got a demonstration next?
I'll go.
Excellent.
I'm going to show you two things now. It was only one, but the first one's very quick.
Din-dins.
So this is Regular Labs Extension Manager. I just saw I've got a couple to update, but I don't want to update now in case that's when something will break. And I want to show you this. But better front end link. If it's free, it's a module. It replaces the preview when you're viewing an article. So for instance, let's see Cybersalt News, July 6th. I'll go into this article. If normally in core Joomla, if I click to preview this, it goes to the home page, right? If you're wondering what the proper full URL is for this, with better front-end view, you have a choice. You can see the article, the category it's in, the next category, or the home page.
Wow.
So when I click on that, I know that that is the URL of that article. That's how I get it.
Wow.
It looks
That's
that.
pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
these pages get indexed, but not necessarily are.
No, this is just yeah. So your pages, if they're Joomla articles and you can open them, it also you can go right to where it is. Like I can open up just the category here, and but it's also part of news, which may or may not work. Yeah, news is different, but it also works this way. If I'm in a menu and go to the main menu and I'm editing guest authors. So now I want to see, I can go to the guest authors category blog, which is what this type is, or I can go to the category list, which is the parent, or I can go to the home page. So it's really great for like, oh, what I want to copy and paste the URL of this article, but where is it? And I got to go preview, go to the home page, go to the menu, go all down and find it and copy it. It just takes you right to the exact URL that you want.
Oh, cool. So that's just a module that you just name.
Yeah, and it's from Regular Labs and it's free.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, so it's a lot nicer for going and previewing articles. So anyway, so yeah, because I've done that, I thought, oh, it's the category is this / this. Oh, wait, no, it's a subcategory. Oh, how do I find this? So that's a real frustration saver. What I was going to show you is another Regular Labs thing. And let me just go into here, content articles, filter options, Penman. And article I'm going to show has craft in it. All right, so this is this fellow writes these articles. I've been putting them on my site for years, and so here's and by the way, this is one of my pages that I barely do any work on, so it's ugly. I know it, but I tweak it every now and then. But this is an article that he's written, and you'll see down at the bottom he's got a signature, and I've got this video, and I've got this all set up. If we look at the actual article, there is no signature at the end of it. And now I could have just made this a module and applied it only to his category, a module at the bottom. But this actually is appearing inside of the article because you see the tags show up after down here. And how I do that is using another thing from Regular Labs called re-replacer. I'll just bring this over here. And what re-replacer does is it looks for things and replaces them.
What?
And that does on steroids. So this one here, Reverend James Snyder signature, let's open it up. This is what puts it at the end of all of his articles, like as what's written.
And it doesn't.
So, now this using a regular expression, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening here, but so basically this bracket with the period in it, and this, I think it's a wild card, is saying look for the whole article, all right? And when you find the whole article, which it's always going to find, first of all, paste the article, like replace the whole article, put it back, and then basically it adds this code at the bottom, which is the code for his signature.
Nice.
And I have it set to, for conditions, only show it on, only do this on articles that are in this category. So if I want to change, so the one advantage here is like it's at the bottom of the article. It's not in a module underneath everything. So I have it right in there. But this extension is really nice because you can do even fancier things. And so let's suppose that I want to put some ads in here. And I took Google Ads off my off this site just because there's going crazy and I don't monitor them. And I'm going to actually try to run ads for my own services once I get around to it. But let's suppose I want to embed some Google Ads somewhere in this article, but it's like right in the middle of the content. So I can't really, I mean, I could manually put it in, but then later on, I got to change it and find the code everywhere. But with re-replacer, and I had to get help with this regular expression, but here's one for him. Okay, so this regular expression does this. This part says count 8 paragraph marks. So that's the P, count 8. And then make sure there's still 4 paragraph marks left in the article. I'll show you why I did that. And then what it does is that it counts, it takes the section that's the first 8 paragraphs, and then it sticks this code in as long as there's still 4 paragraphs at the end. And then the /2 shows put the second half of what you found, and that corresponds to something up here. Anyway, so here's what happens. I'm going to publish this, and I have to clean the cache. And that, I don't know if you guys use Cache Cleaner from Regular Labs. It puts a nice button right up here where you can click and clean the cache. But now when I refresh his page, now something goofy is happening up here, putting it up here. Not that only started today, so just ignore that for now. But watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs, and there's the ad. And the reason that the reason that it also looks for 4 more paragraphs is because if this is a short article and there's only 2 more paragraphs after the ad, it messes up the footer. So I don't want it showing there. And then, so what I also have here is another one. And this one counts, let's see, I'm going to publish this. This one counts 22 paragraphs. So if it's a really long article, if it's 22 paragraphs and there's still 4 left, it puts in another code. And so I'll save that. And I'll clean the cache. And so this is, anyways, I go Control Shift and R. And then I will end up with, Control Shift and R. And then I'll end up with an ad after 8 paragraphs. Oh, okay, so this one's not 24 paragraphs long, so it didn't put it in. But on longer articles, I would have another ad that shows up in the article. So, I mean, that's anytime you want to put something somewhere, you could use this now. And this is a pretty advanced thing. But like you can even replace. And this is just on the fly. It's not replacing in the database. It says the page is being drawn, but you can just do simple things like everywhere. I mean, you would fix this in the database, but I could go in there and everywhere that the word Timothy appears, I could change the capital T to a small t by finding Timothy and then replacing with a lowercase. So but it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice for putting that in. Another example would be if you have a forum and and people are putting in posts. Well, there's repetitive tags in there because post and for each row or something. You can count the rows and then you can insert an add in somewhere where there's no module position or anything, or you can put whatever you want around. So, anyways, it's a cool little thing that I have on there. I don't know why this is. I think I just fixed this by dumping the cache before within. That's only just been happening. So let's just try one thing here. Let's go clear cache through the. I'm going to delete all because sometimes cache cleaner doesn't do everything. Let's just see if that fixes the top thing. No, it didn't. So something has changed, but anyways, that's a cool little tool from Regular Labs.
Anyone else have any demonstrations they want
I do, yes.
to? All right, Richard.
Okay. So can I share?
Yep, anyone can share. Yep.
Okay, so
Regular
there
lab
we go.
always delivers. Very nice.
Right. So this is can you all see that? See that okay?
Yep.
You have more than what you have your chats in there too. I don't know if you want them or not.
We're seeing both screens, I think.
Yeah, you may
You have
want to
two
just
monitors.
check your browser.
I've only got one
Share your
screen.
browser only. Yep.
Oh, okay, hang on.
You've got
Yeah,
spaces,
yeah,
maybe.
Oh, I'm sharing the whole okay.
Desktop. Yep.
Share the window.
Yeah, share your browser.
Let's try that. There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay, so this is I'm sharing this with you because it's in terms of Joomla, it's not earth-shattering, but in terms of the subject matter and the content, I think it's really interesting and super nerdy. So the McKinley Railway is a model railway. It lives in the top floor of this guy's house. It probably covers about 1,000 square feet, so it's big. It's one of the largest private model railways in the country. And I initially, let me just scroll down. I'll share the URL so you can kind of look at that as well. So I initially did a photographic backdrop him. That's one of the control screens there.
Wow.
I initially did, we'll go and have a look at some of the stations. I did a backdrop to the London station. There's about 11 stations on this. I mean, it's huge. And in terms of the trains that run on it, it covers a period from the late 50s to the early 70s. And they can call up a specific year or a specific era to run on the lines. And there's a lot of enthusiasts and volunteers who kind of work with it. There you can see the sort of overview there. Let's go to, right, this section here is called Hades. And this is where all the eras are stacked up. So they can call up specific era of train and set them running. It's insane the amount of money and time that's been spent on this thing. It's this guy, he's a property investor, but this is his full-time passion, and he employs people as well as all the kind of volunteers. So it's super, super cool. So I initially, let's call up London. I did a backdrop for him for the London station. You can just see a little bit of it there. So this is a super panorama of London, and when it was printed out, it was about 18 feet long. But I had to remove everything in Photoshop that was kind of post 1970s. So obviously satellite dishes, TV aerials, modern cranes, all that kind of stuff. So there you can see, get a bit of a feel.
Wow.
I'm not sure if we can see. Yeah. One of the things I popped in there's a little corner where this panorama wraps around, and there's a very well-known old power station in London called Battersea Power Station. It's got 4 chimneys. And so in this little recess that you don't see unless you kind of look around the corner, I put Godzilla kind of rampaging through London in the background, and they loved that. So it stayed in it. What else have we got? So these multiple stations, and there's a plan for every station. If you want to visit, you have to be part of a club. You have to be vetted because it's in his private home. So I say it's in his home. It's the entire top floor of his house. So and it's a big house.
Is it a museum that people can pay to?
No. It's his house. It's private. People can, if you're part of a club, you can be vetted and you can go along. And they have days where people from clubs can go and I'm not sure what the correct term is. Play trains. Yeah, play trains. But the software for all this, some of it's available. A lot of it's been custom written for controlling the trains. It probably runs to more efficiently than the full size. Well, certainly in the UK, the full size stuff. And we've got all these recently added all the training videos, and this is quite an interesting challenge as well. So these are actually made from PowerPoint. And we had to find an extension for PowerPoint that could export it into HTML and maintain all of the HTML, or rather the actual PowerPoint clicks and links.
Huh.
So we've got this for all of the people who want to learn to operate the trains. They have to do a huge amount of training. But it's been a really fun project to be involved with, and I'm doing some more backgrounds for them at the moment. So it's sourcing images of the north of England. I'm having to combine multiple images, so cityscape, running into countryside, running into suburbs, and once again, everything has to be post, or rather pre-1970. So Yeah, it's been a real fun project to be involved with. So yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
little contribution.
You had me at model trains.
You know, there
What's
should
not to
be
love?
a website called Hobbies Gone Wild. This would fit. That is extraordinary.
Yeah, I belonged to a model railroad club in Toronto. They had a 2,000 square foot layout in their own building and a dispatcher in a separate room. And if you were running a mainline train that night when they did a session, there was a cab up that we all sat up in the top. Not like it didn't look like a train cab, but and then their people ran local trains, and they were modeling the era between when the switch over from steam to diesel. So yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's a good period.
it's a lot. Yeah, it is because there's a lot of stuff that you can run. Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
so take it to another level and put like a little webcam in the front of those trains and allow people to
Like
watch
a
as they're
GoPro.
going.
Oh,
You
they've
can get
got
yeah,
that.
tiny little GoPros and Osmo cameras. They're tiny.
Yeah,
You can,
and
I
it's
think
all
they have done that.
it's all command and control now. So it used to just send power through the rails. Now each engine has its own unit that you're controlling remotely. You can ding bells. You can change the lights inside them. They can you can bring two and pull them right up nose to nose with each other, which you can never do with power through the track. So
I know
Wow.
it's insane what they can do with
yeah,
them.
it's it's
Yeah.
it's it's great.
And do you have anything you want to share with us today?
I don't have anything to show, but I just wanted to comment that I have I've recently started getting people that want to really change their website. Some want to do it themselves. I mean, before this, everybody was like, do their website and it sits there forever, right? And I have just been amazed at what I can do with custom fields, regular labs, articles anywhere, and regular labs content templater, and things I've learned from this group that's making it so easy for them to do really complex things, and even me creating things that are way more complex than I could before. So I just think it's amazing. And then I watched Adam's backup
Oh, yes. Like,
because I had to miss that. And I tried that Backblaze because I was using Amazon S3,
yeah.
which worked great, but the cost adds up pretty quickly. And I set up Backblaze also, and I started backing up every single day for all of the websites, which I was doing a monthly and then a weekly on S3. But now that people are changing things, I'm not as comfortable to have that time between them all.
Right.
And I can't believe how easy it was to set it up and how cheap it is. So
I'm also using that now too.
yeah, and
Very excited for that.
I'm keeping S3 because they always talked about having three different places for your backup. So now I do have three different places, and so anyway, it's been really good. Anybody who hasn't looked at that might want to consider taking a look.
Well, I'm glad like reporting the meeting and the sharing it, and you can go back and step by step. And you can also, if you ever get into trouble, just reach out to Adam too, because everyone who does presentations are really good about just they're excited about teaching us, and they're always willing to answer any questions if we do have a hang up or something. So
Right. Well, and I have to say, this group has been phenomenal for me, and it's tangents right to J-Day USA, and just these sessions. I was really in a like a very stale spot before joining this group, and it's just a whole different world now.
beautiful. I'm glad. I'm glad. I feel like I was trying to find a user group forever locally, and it just never happened. And it was Laura's suggestion to start a virtual one. So thank you, Laura, because it's been very, very easy. I got on a little early with Joe today, and I was just like, I couldn't find a session. I couldn't find a speaker for July, and I don't want to work too hard at it. So we'll just do this instead. I'm like, I don't really want to work too hard, and I don't really work too hard. And that's the only reason why it's so easy to just keep doing this. The approach of having 3 or 4 people willing to help me find speakers, and I just set up a Zoom link and just send out an email and put it on Facebook, and that's done. It's very minimal and very minimal work for the amount of usefulness of this group. So I'm very excited about it. Well, we are
So
yep,
I
5
have
minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a trivia question. We've mentioned regular labs several times during this meeting. So a trivia question for you. Regular labs is Peter Van Westen. What did Peter Van Westen do before he got into Joomla? Does anybody know? He was a pastry chef.
What?
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
He still is doing that. Everyone's got their side.
Isn't that great? That's a great trivia question.
Well, leave it to Joe to know the people up close and personal. That's his strength. Wonderful. Yeah, we are right on target, and I'm kind of glad that we had such an intimate group, so everyone who could participate with sharing or whatever could do that. So I'm gonna finish it right on the 12:30 my local time. And yeah, Tim, can you close us out?
I sure can, as usual. Hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, evening, afternoon, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites and God bless.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon.